Alright guys, time for another Patreon request, and this one comes from Tom Hibbert, Tom Hibbert. Tripped over my own words. It's late, I'm tired. And yeah, so as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just head on over to my link in the description below, and hit the 4th tier where you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. So yeah, let's get started, and I'm sure you guys are all excited for this video because this one's going to be a fun one. Yep, as you can see from the title, this is going to be a fun one. We have Street Fighter X Dragon Ball Z. So he asked me for a Street Fighter DBZ crossover. So obviously the big question is, how do you do this? Because while they have it's all fighting characters who can do energy blasts, there's kind of a power differential here. Because let's be real. Let's be real quick. There's literally one, maybe three, and I'm pushing it, characters that could go up against Dragon Ball Z characters. Akuma being the only one who could really fight the others. I mean, he literally fought gods before and blew up a meteor without using half of his strength. So Akuma could take it to Dragon Ball Z characters, theoretically, I'm saying theoretically, and maybe Ryu, and maybe, and I do stress this one, maybe Bison, when he's really powered on psycho energy. But that's one's a stretch. Ryu is like, I'm being very generous with Ryu. Akuma definitely could be could be used to fight Dragon Ball Z characters. So how in the world are we going to do this story? Well, let's get started. Let's start with the crossover. So basically, this story begins with Bison and Shadaloo more or less building a new kind of machine called the Psycho Gate. The Psycho Gate is this weapon that is not really a weapon, it's more like it can siphon energy from other universes and convert it into psycho power, which he'll use for himself. However, the Psycho Gate, when it tunes into the energy of another universe, what happens is that it attracts the attention of a longtime Dragon Ball Z foe, the Red Ribbon Army. So the Red Ribbon Army, they didn't go away. They have the tendency to keep coming back. So the Red Ribbon Army detect the psycho energy power and are like, ooh, this could be interesting. Let's find out what this is. So they go and they encounter Bison. And Bison is like, fascinating. And proceeds to wreck house and declares himself the new leader of both Shadaloo and the Red Ribbon Army. And he gets very curious about this ki energy. He starts learning about ki energy and all of that, and he's like, I want more. I need more of this ki energy. So he just supercharges the Psycho Gate and just causes, in order to siphon this energy, he basically brings the several people who he's detected high amounts of ki energy and brings them to the Street Fighter universe. However, as they were pulled through the Psycho Gate, a lot of their power gets sapped from them. So they're more on level with the Street Fighter characters. So there's your explanation for this, because I really racked my brain on how to do this, because I'm like, there's no goddamn way you can do a feasible Street Fighter crossover as well. And this is someone who really loves the Street Fighter universe. There's no way they can fight the Dragon Ball Z characters. It's really hard to do that. They could maybe fight Yamcha and Tien and maybe Krillin, but that's pushing it. They could definitely fight Yamcha, but they could have trouble against like Tien and Krillin, for God's sake. And let alone I don't see how they could fight, Gohan or Piccolo or, God forbid, Vegeta and Goku. So this was kind of the only feasible way to do it. So a lot of the so getting back to the story, is that Bison has pulled through the Psycho Gate several of several of the fighters who have these high levels of ki energy, and he basically is like, perfect, now I can siphon off them through another tournament. And the more ki energy they use, the more he gathers for his Psycho Gate and converts it into psycho power. So there's your story. So yeah, Because let's be real, a fight between so Goku and the other Z fighters are obviously not blind to what just happened. They just got pulled from one universe to another. Also, if you're wondering where we are in the continuity, this isn't Super, but we're not in like the Boo saga either. We are somewhere like, I guess you could say like this is somewhere nebulous. Like let's say it's a Dragon Ball Z movie where the timeline is nebulous. So for the fighter, so if this was a video game, definitely you would have Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo. Those are all obviously your four. I would pick others because I gotta have my boy Tien. Gotta have represent my boy. Krillin. For shits and giggles, Yamcha. Give him something to do. Roshi, Android 18. Let's see, who else? Trying to think of like who else would be cool here. But those are like the major ones. Let's say those are the major characters. So so Bison manipulates a way to make a new tournament, and this time he's like, sorry about that. Anyway, so that's kind of where we are in the story. Is that the Dragon Ball Z characters are now in the Street Fighter universe, and the new tournament has begun. On one hand, like, everyone's all like, holy shit, what the fuck happened? Like, all we're depowered. Meanwhile, Goku's like, maybe it's not such a bad thing. You know, we've gotten so powerful that sometimes it's hard to find someone strong enough to fight. Here, like, we have plenty of people to fight. And it's kind of cool to see, like, how our training would do if we were so depowered. Like, Goku is trying to be, like, typical glass half full kind of person, where he's like, yeah, maybe this can be a good thing. Maybe we can, you know, learn from this handicap. Maybe we can put our training to real use and find more people we can fight, rather than just sit around and wait for someone strong enough to fight. While everyone else is thinking like, holy shit, this is so bad, Goku's the only one because of course Goku would literally be the one to be like, yeah, maybe it's not so bad. Like, let's be real, that's exactly what Goku would do. Like, it's not even a contest. Like, Goku would totally do something of that nature, where he would just be like, let's see what happens. Maybe we can actually fight people. Like, maybe we can put our training to use. So, as the story would progress onward, is that they the battles would continue. I would love to see. There are some fights I'd love to see. Like, now that everyone's like on an equal level, like, I would say Vegeta and Sagat would be a fun fight. Piccolo and Dhalsim would be a good fight. Goku and Ryu, obviously. And Akuma, of course, would be like all just like waiting in the wings to be like, I'm gonna see how powerful these people are, and I'm gonna challenge them. I'm gonna challenge these guys and see how powerful they are. So there you go. I would even like to see like I think like a fun one would be Gohan and Ken. Like, that would be like, you could have like these rivalry characters like you do if this was an actual fighting game. Like, there would be straight up like some people who would be like used as rivalry characters. So I could definitely see like I could totally see like some rivalry characters that you could say. I'm trying to put this in the word. It's very late and I'm tired. Obviously, now that everyone's depowered and like now everyone's on equal footing in a way, you could have Goku and Ryu. That could be your rivalry characters for your penultimate fight in the arcade mode. Vegeta and Sagat. Those would be my picks. Piccolo and Dhalsim. I'd say Gohan and Ken. For Chun-Li, Chun-Li would be kind of hard because there aren't a lot of people that would compare to her. So, and I don't want to say, oh, it's the female characters versus each other. So that's why I wouldn't say 18. I'd actually put 18 against, I don't know. I'd actually put her against Cammy. Cammy and 18 would be kind of cool to see go at. Tien would actually, I'm gonna say Tien and Chun-Li would be the rival characters because they're both in touch with like chi and balance. So Tien, Ten Shihan and Chun-Li would be the rivalry scene for that one. So there you go. That's pretty much my Dragon Ball Z Street Fighter crossover. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this story? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. And once again, I'd like to thank Tom Hibbert for this Patreon request and for continued patronage. And as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon where you guys can start sending me, if you hit the 4th tier, you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.